and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Shawn. For a second, I completely forgot we were recording.
Oh, you just thought I was talking to myself? In fairness, I do that sometimes.
Like, oh, what am I doing right now? I'm just kind of sitting here just looking at this comic, and I was like, oh, that's right.
In fairness, I do talk to myself sometimes, so I can't really blame you.
Yeah. This is a comic book podcast where we make fun of comic books in our collection, and a lot of times we also give them their due props. But
of course,
we do spend a lot of time talking about some absurd stuff, and it is going to be a good couple of weeks here on the show because there's a Superman movie coming out.
There sure is.
And what makes sense is that we are going to cover 2 Superman comics.
Nice.
And we're not really doing an actual arc this time.
No, we're just going to do some one-offs.
But that's the thing, because we have, over the course of our collection, you go to these stores, a lot of ones in California.
Yes.
To be honest. And just find like these 70s and 80s Superman comics.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of them, and I actually have to go through them. I will do that.
Yeah, like pre-crisis stuff, but it's just ridiculousness, just like crazy looking covers and stories and just whatever. It's just stuff that you're just like, people don't act when they talk about Superman, they don't think about this version of Superman. Yeah, they don't. They think about all this other cool stuff,
Yeah, they think of the death of Superman or him fighting Doomsday or something.
Man of Steel, like the John Byrne stuff, or just the Superman movie. Like they have these fondness, but they don't think about the time when Superman looked like he threw the Empire State Building into the entire Empire State Building into a meteor. Yeah,
people don't think about the time in this book when apparently Superman is being mentally controlled by children.
Well, yes.
But we'll talk about that.
this gets it's real dumb.
Oh yeah, and at the end I was like, oh no, but we'll get there.
So, which is actually the reaction to a lot of these books.
Oh yeah,
because just like there's that one we did where I took the fame. I feel is one of my best Twitter posts.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a picture of Superman he has black contacts in, but we don't know that, but he just goes, I have no eyes.
Oh, that's right.
Because what he was doing, he was gaslighting Lois.
Oh, man.
For reasons.
The super dickery, I mean, the way he treated people back then was insane. And this was supposed to be like the hero of the story.
But this isn't, but there's the thing, those weren't books like in the 60s. These were like 80s, 70s. Like, these were like, it continued. It kept going.
Because that's how he always acted. I guess they were just like, hey, let's keep doing it. And then they were like, oh, maybe he shouldn't act like that.
I feel like John Byrne had to come in and after Crisis to like fix that because he was like, all right, can we have him stop treating Lois like
doing these insane things to her all the time?
Like he's going to have eyes.
Yeah, he's not going to pretend not to have eyes just to pull a fast one on Lois.
here's my mandate in DC and my Superman. I'm John Byrne and I declare that Superman will always have eyes.
Unless he legitimately does not have them for some reason. He's not going to pretend not to have eyes just to fuck with Lois.
Yes. So,
God.
But we're going to be talking about that stuff. It's going to be good. Few things real quick we need to address because, well, first of all, this weekend is Metallica weekend for us.
Oh, that is right. We went to see, Metallica is doing a 2-night show here in Denver. And we went to go see it.
Well, we went to go see one night.
We went to go see one night, and then I went, I am too old to see night 2.
And I'm fair with that.
I'm okay with it. I you know what? It was fun. It was good, but I don't like sitting in the sun.
No, we were on the side where we got there. And
I didn't realize that when I bought those tickets.
Yeah, which you don't know that.
No, and I didn't even think about it, to be honest, and I should have, and I just didn't think about where in the stadium we would be sitting to catch that lovely afternoon sun. Yeah. So that was no fun.
I mean, it just was definitely for the first 2 bands was a lot going on to just deal with that.
Yes. And we saw, let's see, Ice Nine Kills, a band that is not for me.
No. Well, here's the thing. Ice Nine Kills, I'm familiar with them because I watch Dead Meat on the channel, and they're associated with them because obviously Ice Nine Kills
they have like a horror movie like album.
No, they have both. Yeah, they're very much like horror movie based.
Yeah, and like they have songs about like specific horror movies.
But the thing is this what the problem is that it's not just like we were inspired by this. It's like literally like we're gonna sing you the plot to these fucking movies.
Yeah, and
we're gonna play clips. They're clip players.
And they, which is, I got to give it up to them for that because they used to do that a lot
back in the 90s. Though, man,
that was what you did.
You played a clip and then you played a song and then you.
Yeah,
that's how it went.
Yeah, but I mean, like when we saw them, they literally like the guys wearing the plastic suit from the
American Psycho. Yeah.
American Psycho, and then someone's dressed like Terrifier, and I was just like, you know what? I love. Do not get me wrong, I fucking love horror movies. Which, if you have listened to this show, I was just like, no, thank you. Yeah. This is silly.
It was really.
It's just not for me. And if you like it, that's cool. Again, not aggressively not for me. And it has been a long time since I've seen an opening act where I'm like, ooh, this is just not my thing.
No, but here's the thing. If this was 2003, I would be really into this band.
No, I don't think I could ever have been.
I think I would have, or maybe I wouldn't. I don't know.
I also don't like that guy's voice, and that's kind of a big thing for me.
Well,
also, as a little goth girl, that would have been like totally outside of things I liked back then.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't, there was definitely, like, they're doing things on stage, where they're chopping up people, they're ripping up babies, they're killing people.
Yeah.
There's fake blood everywhere, and Metallica's probably like, Jesus, come on.
They
Kirk Hammett probably loved it, but the other guys are probably like, oh,
yeah,
right,
Kirk probably loved it, because he also had, which was really cool, a Boris Karloff guitar.
Oh, he's a huge... Universal guy. He was on Gilbert's show talking about that.
Oh, was he? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was like one of the episodes, which I should probably go back and listen to. He did have a really cool Ouija board.
He also had a Ouija board guitar, which was cool. I mean, it was great to see them live. I haven't seen Metallica since the Load tour, so we're talking like 96, 97. It has been a long time. I did enjoy it, but again, I just don't like people.
Yeah. No, I think the thing that was frustrating with the Metallica set, because I mean, they have so many songs.
Oh, so many. Oh, my God.
They have so many albums. There's maybe like, 3 or 4 albums since maybe like since like Saint Anger was like the last one that I listened, that I was really into.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably like the last one I also remember coming out, because I was just like they mentioned an album on stage. I was like, I don't even know that one.
Like I recognize some of the names, but I mean, fuck if I know any remember any songs from those.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not.
So I don't know, but I mean, but they're like, hey, we got a new album. It's called 72 Seasons. I'm like, cool.
That I have actually listened to it all the way through.
Okay.
We did listen to it in the car at one point.
Okay.
But it was just once.
I need to go back and listen to like, I should go back and catch up.
Yeah.
I feel like I owe that myself. But they were just playing like a lot of songs where I'm just like, could you play something that like I kind of like, that I'm really excited to hear? Because they played Battery, they played King Nothing, which is probably like I think my favorite song off of Load.
Well, yeah, which is a great song. They also played Nothing Else Matters. Right? Yes, it is.
Okay.
They played Nothing Else Matters.
Nothing Else Matters is great. Nothing Else Matters is like when you just listen, it's just,
that's a great song.
It's just a great ballad, man.
It really is. And they played Holier Than Thou, which I was, because it's like I know the older shit.
Yeah, but that's the Black Album. There's songs on the Black Album that nobody ever really talks about. Like A Wolf and Man.
Oh, I fucking love that song. That's one of my favorites.
Don't Tread on Me, I'm sure, is probably a favorite of a lot of people.
Because I looked at the set list. I was kind of cheating. I looked on my phone and I was like, okay, they're going to play Fade to Black, right? They were supposed to, and they didn't. And I was so bummed because I love...
Not the first day.
No, it was supposed to be the first night.
Oh.
It was supposed to be the 4th song that they played was supposed to be Fade to Black. And then they played like that other slower song when he was sitting on the stool.
Oh, okay.
And I remember what song that was. And I was like, damn it, I wanted to hear Fade to Black because that's off Ride the Lightning. And I'm like, yes, I know this song. I love this song. I'm so excited. And they didn't play one. I don't think they played it either. According to the playlist, they were not supposed to play it either night.
Okay.
They played Master of Puppets when we were walking out.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, when we were walking, because I told you, this is Master of Puppets. We're like walking across that bridge. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it was Master of Puppets.
Okay.
Because they did play it.
Yeah. But also, Limp Bizkit played right before Metallica did.
Yes, they did. And I've never seen Limp Bizkit.
I never did either. I
never a humongous Limp Bizkit fan, but I'm going to tell you, I had a good fucking time with Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit's like the
I really did.
This was like them playing in front of Metallica. And because they've toured Metallica before too. Like Summer Sanitarium. And they got booed off the stage. It was like a thing. Like back in like 2000,
I could see that happening.
Whatever,
yeah.
Fred Durst, whatever. It was like
it's fucking Fred Durst.
It was like they were reaching. I think at that point we were reaching Limp Bizkit overload.
Yep.
So it's like they went away or whatever, and then they put out an album a couple years ago, and there's going to be another album soon, and it's the same guys. It's it's Fred, it's Wes, it's all the DJ Lethal, and
yeah. I hope Wes wasn't like overheating in that like crazy skeleton mask he was wearing.
Wes Moreland, of course, if you know Limp Bizkit, he dresses up in like weird shit. He has these very weird stage outfits, but
which is great.
He just kind of dressed like James. He dressed like a young James Hetfield.
Yeah.
But he was wearing
a skeleton
mask. You could tell that he could move it because you could tell there was like, it must have been like mesh.
Yeah.
Because you could see him like singing with it because it was moving.
It was hot, man.
But it looked fucking cool. But
it did. I
was like, man, they need like an action figure of that or something.
I was like, can you see? He's doing all right.
He's doing fine. He figured it out. But it was interesting. There's a lot of songs that maybe I wasn't as familiar. Because I don't
listen to Limp Bizkit.
I don't know if I've ever really listened to a full Limp Bizkit album.
Oh, I definitely have.
Like not. I know certain songs off of $3 Bill, y'all. I don't really know anything. I know whatever, and you know all the songs off all the other albums,
of course, all the popular ones. Yeah,
they're popular songs. But there's a lot of them that I'm just like, maybe they were dishing out, and I just didn't recognize.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there were definitely stuff I didn't recognize. Like, apparently, they brought some little kid.
But not a kid. She was like a young girl.
Yeah, she was like 12.
Was she? I don't think she was 12.
She looked young. Like, she looked like she was like 12 or 13. She looked like a young kid. And they brought her up and she like rapped with Fred Durst. She knew the whole fucking song. And I'm like, I do not know this song. But I will tell you, because again, I was never a huge Limp Bizkit fan because they came out at the height of my gothdom.
Okay, right.
Oh, so, they're automatically not going to be one of my favorites. But Break Stuff has always been a good song. And watching them play Break Stuff live was a fucking good time.
Yeah, it was
a really good time.
That really I think Break Stuff has to be the most popular song.
I think so too, because it was the last one they played, so I'm assuming that is.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
over Nookie.
Because Nookie's and Faith are like the two.
Yeah,
like maybe you're like
Nookie's what got them on MTV, which I remember. That was like the first one I'd ever heard. That was
when that album came out, and everybody was like, "Okay, this is the song." And
but Break Stuff much more fun.
Yeah, Break Stuff really. Actually, that
good times.
When that song like breaks down at the end.
Yeah,
and everybody's
going nuts.
That's the thing, because this is like. Everybody mostly people that are there are people like our age.
Yeah, and there were definitely younger kids there. There were like kids.
But there's also people like, who were kids or who have kids that are older now.
Yep.
That they've introduced to this song and they enjoy it.
Yep.
Or stuff and they enjoy it. Or Metallica in general. Metallica's has been very accessible.
Well, yeah, and especially because it's like people who have children have like introduced them to Metallica. So you're seeing like generations of Metallica fans at this fucking show.
Yes, yeah. It's I mean, you literally have like grandparents and parents and fucking little kids with their headphones on, and it's like a
It was kind of exciting though, because like some of the, because there are younger kids there, like late teens, early 20s, like I was back then going to shows, and I saw this one kid and he had like one of those jean vests. You know what I'm talking about? Like denim vests. And it had patches all over it, which they used to do a lot in the 80s. And this kid had so many fucking patches. He had a Johnny Cash patch. I was just like, nice vest. And he kind of looked at me like I was crazy.
Did you say something?
Yeah, I said, oh, I love your vest. And he goes, thanks. I was like, I know, I look like an old lady, but trust me.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah, well, I don't like talking to people, but it was cool. I'm just like, oh, the kids are all right.
There was a guy who was wearing a shirt that said,
oh, I love that.
What was it?
A t-shirt of the band I loved in high school. And I said, I saw it walking towards us and I literally started laughing. And I said, I need that fucking shirt. I don't know where he got it.
Respect.
But that's exactly what I need for when we go to these shows. Because that's funny.
The other thing I want to bring up is we didn't talk about this last week, but we watched this movie last week called Neon Maniacs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
And there's this, well, first of all, I'll explain. So there's this channel on YouTube that I watch called the Cobwebs channel. And there's this guy and he just kind of
talks about horror movies.
Horror movies, and he does a lot of lists and stuff like that. So it's definitely up my alley. And I forgot what he was what this list was, but he was covering a movie called Neon Maniacs, which I've heard of. And it's a supposed to be a low budget zombie movie or something.
Yeah, kind of like a freak movie more than anything.
Yeah, but what it really has to do is something. These weird costumed maniacs.
They're like mutant. Are they costumed or are they mutants?
They both, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Because there's a little monster with a fucking eyeball or something.
Well, this is the classic case of this movie ran out of money when they were shooting it, so it kind of falls apart.
There was probably a script, but they ran out of money, so they're just like, whatever happens.
We just got to finish it.
So they just, whatever. And I'm not going to get into it because that's a whole nother.
Yeah. No, that's a whole other thing. But
there's a moment where there's a big costume party, and it's funny because it's not a Halloween movie. It's just a costume freak off that they decided to have.
Yeah, it's called like the Freak Frolic or something.
Freak Frolic, that's right. And it's a battle of the bands. Just two bands playing one another, up against one another, but everybody has to show up in a costume.
Yes.
In this video,
this guy's just talking about it.
He gets just talking about it, and there's this brief clip of some people walking in, and there's a motherfucker in 1986 in San Francisco somewhere. Definitely an extra of some sort, I would say.
Oh, yeah, he's
dressed in the most well-made, competent, accurate Mr. Miracle costume.
For that time period,
that time period. And we're talking mask,
cape,
full body outfit, cape with the collar.
And I literally was blown the fuck away when I saw it. I was like, what?
Because you're not ready for that.
I was not ready.
It's like, and also be a thing.
I've never been ready for that. That was insane.
I would be shocked by that. Like I say, if a movie in 2012 and some extra showed up like that, I'd be like, wow, that's pretty impressive. But but at least it's in 2012, comic, this, I don't know, just cosplay seems more acceptable to do shit like that, or just some randomness. But this is 1986. You're not, and I know that cosplay was definitely around then.
Oh, sure, it absolutely was. But I mean,
you're not ready for it.
I was not ready for it because who the hell is walking around in a Mr. Miracle costume in 1986? And so I was like, okay, so did like a costume designer make this and they're doing a shout out to a character they love? Or is this dude got this gig and he just showed up in this costume?
It's one of the two.
It's one of the two, and it was amazing.
I want to know who this guy is.
Me too.
I kind of want to do a documentary where I try to find this guy.
Can we find this person?
And it's just, and if you find this guy, you go, hey, how's it going? You're the guy at Mr. Miracle costume. He's like, yeah. Do
you still have Mr. Miracle costume?
No, I threw it out.
Oh, that's too bad.
Can I have a glass of water? No. Okay.
Well, all right. Well, thanks for letting me interview you.
Thanks. This was a really terrible idea.
Yeah, this was a bad idea for everybody.
But if you go back, and I'll have to actually go back and take a screenshot of it.
Oh yeah,
and show it off because it's not just that one scene.
No, he's there the whole time.
He's there the whole time. Like there's a parts where like I think they did tell him to put his cape down.
He must have, because he's like right in front of that other band.
Yeah,
and he's not short. You could see like he's taller than some other people there, so they must have had to ask him to like put his little thing
you would
down.
only be able to see the cape because he's facing the crowd or facing the band. So it's like if you could see, but then you see him later and you can actually see his head in the mask, and you're just like, Mr. Miracle's having a good time, and he makes it out because there's a big like shooting at this thing.
Yeah,
it's real fucked up, but he gets out alive. So Mr. Miracle escapes as he's known to do.
Yeah, that is what he does.
Hey there, everyone. My name is Michael Bailey, and I host a podcast called It All Comes Back to Superman, which is currently on its second series. On July 11th, 2025, a new Superman film, written and directed by James Gunn, is coming to theaters. And not only will a new Superman enter the chat, but a new generation of Superman fans will enter the fold. To celebrate and mark this occasion, I'm embarking on a series of episodes called Moving Kryptonian Images, the live-action and animated adventures of Superman. Starting with Superman and the Mole Men and going all the way to the new movie, after it comes out, of course, I will be talking about all of the live-action and animated Superman films that have been released. It's right there in the name of the series. I'm really not burying the lead here. But I won't be alone. Every episode will have a guest host or hosts joining me to talk about these movies. Some are old friends and some are brand new. Some I've podcasted with on numerous occasions, and for some, it will be our first time speaking. No matter the case, it will be a fun, sometimes silly, sometimes serious look at these films, what they mean to Superman, and what they mean to us as fans. The series kicks off on February 3rd, and barring real-life interruptions and a quick stop in April for my JSA April episode, the show will run weekly through August, when I end everything with a giant feedback, if I get any, episode which will also feature my personal rankings of the Superman films. From George Reeves to Christopher Reeve, from Dean Cain to David Corenswet, from Tim Daly to Matt Baumer, moving Kryptonian images will cover them all. It All Comes Back to Superman Series 2 is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, and you can find the home base for this and all of the other shows in the Fortress of Baileytude podcasting network at www.fortressofbaileytude.com.
Last month was Absolute Month, and this month we're going to talk about Superman here.
Yeah. Let's get into Superman.
So, what are we reading?
Yeah, Superman. Now, I always confuse. What?
You just sigh. You're like,
no, because it's just like the title is always Superman starring in Action Comics.
Yeah.
And Brian, a long time ago, my brother, was like, I store my Action Comics and the A's. And he's like, why? It's Superman.
Yeah, but Action Comics is always in the A's, isn't it?
Like, I don't know. Some people put it in the S's.
It could go in the S as well. Yeah.
So I got kind of anxiety for a second looking at that. But anyways, Action Comics number 497 from July 1979, and the cover here, as we alluded to, is Superman throwing what appears to be, and it's not really ends up being the case, but it appears to be an entire building.
Yes.
At a flaming meteor
that is coming down onto the city. And
he is saying that huge meteor is loaded with deadly kryptonite. If I don't hit it dead center, Metropolis will be one big crater. And that's actually what I do appreciate is that the meteorite, so looks like a meteor, so it's red and it's like flames and stuff like that. But there's also hints of green in it.
Yes, it's very cool looking.
And it's like, I was like, oh yeah, because it's super, it's kryptonite.
Because it's got kryptonite in it.
And at the very top, it says, if you had Superman at your command, what fantastic feat would you dream up for him to perform?
Mm-hmm.
The way that it...
Yep. I was like, what? Are you asking me that question?
Right. The way that this is kind of put, because it's like a banner at the top.
Yeah.
So you... Initially, when you look at it, because the way they would do sometimes these banners would be like, it was like, oh, be in the Superman movie.
Right. This is a Superman contest or something. Right?
Like, is this like a thing, like a backup or something where it's like, hey, kids, do what you want me to do, Right?
Like, tell Superman what adventure he should go on or whatever.
Oh, you want me to go to
I don't know.
Austin, Texas and get some barbecue? Great.
Actually, I would love to see Superman just chowing down on some barbecue.
Just sitting in his cape, just like,
just being like, you know what? I don't have to eat, but I like to eat.
You want me to change that tire? Great.
Yeah, I would like Superman to come here and clean my gutters because he can fly.
I can't reach them. I am short,
and I don't want to get the ladder. So,
the ladder's kind of hard to get. If you come here and clean my gutters,
exactly. It's hard to get to. So, if you could.
Superman, my toilet's making a weird noise. Can you check it out for me?
Yeah, please. Are you also a plumber? I mean, because do you have super plumbing? I feel like the
solution would be to throw the toilet into this guy.
Cool. You know what? Go for it.
But I would need a replacement toilet.
We would have to replace it, yes.
Toilet,
Superman, wait.
Throw,
you can't just toss it. You actually have to fix it.
So yeah, but that's the cover. And we get the cold open where Superman is watching this meteor, and he's like, I wonder what the next job will be for me. I'm like, I don't know, maybe you should stop that meteor.
Yep.
Yeah, and then of course there's a thing at the bottom. It's like, have you ever wondered, have even fantasized about what you would ask the mightiest man alive if you had the power to make him grant one wish?
Is a genie now?
He's now a genie.
Now Superman is a genie. Genie.
You are about to meet 3 people who have such a wishing power, they don't even know it.
Oh man!
Even if they if they should make a wish in jest or anger, the results could be disastrous.
Oh no!
Oh boy! And the story is called Superman's Command Performance. Writer Carrie Bates, penciler Kurt Swan. So we got some real firepower here. So I'm going to call these guys. So we we meet these 3 kids.
Yeah.
a shack in the middle of their neighborhood.
Yeah, it looks like it's just like a vacant lot.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if the shack was there beforehand or if they put it up, but it seems to be small.
But it's not like a tree fort, or it's not something kind of like
it's almost
hidden.
like it's like a tough shed.
Yeah. It's just
it's a shed you would put like shovels in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has power and everything because they have light.
I mean, that's cool. Good for them.
I don't know who's paying it, but
it doesn't matter.
Maybe rich parents, they just said their parents are just like, go play in your shed.
I don't know. Maybe it was
Where's your shed? It's like, it's in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
Go to the city, play in your shed.
Well, they live in Plainville, Kansas.
Oh, it's okay. It's Plainville. Okay, that's right. Yeah, they do live in a nice American town.
Middle of fucking nowhere.
Right.
So
I'm going to call these guys the Reddit brothers.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because this group,
I can see that.
These group of guys, this is
and their kids.
They're kids. This is the Plaintown Superman Club.
Mm-hmm.
Support our heroes' never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way.
Yes. And they have in their little shed, the table is like, it has the Superman S on it. And it's
actually a pretty nice table.
It's a real nice one.
I bet they did make that custom.
Yeah, maybe their dad made it.
Yeah.
But they have that, and like they have an extra chair.
Dad wants you to go play in the shit. Dad's gotta watch some boxing on TV and get drunk. He has to forget about what happened at work.
They have like an empty chair that is Superman's chair in case one day.
It's actually kind of a big chair. Kind of reminds me of it's actually a way bigger chair than the other ones.
Yeah.
And it just reminds me of when you go to Clifton Hill in Canada and they have like the Ripley's Believe It or Not. They have the big chairs. Like Robert Wadlow would sit in this chair.
Yeah.
It's just like this big chair.
Giant chair. Yeah. So they have that and they're sitting around and they're talking. Apparently, I guess they're drawing. It's their own fanfic, basically. Yeah. Like they're making stories and they're drawing them, basically making their own comic about
Superman. They make their own
newsletter,
but the newsletter is distributed just between the three of them. The one kid here looks like the kid from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
The kid with he has that teeth.
Yeah.
Teeth kid.
He does look like that kid, by the way. Yeah.
Also, I forget, this is something that I wasn't aware of until later, but one of the kids is in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I did not know that until the end of the book, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't. I have to go back as we're going through this. Maybe I'll find out. But.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the one kid's like, hey, maybe you should like draw Superman like saving the world from like a giant meteor, and this kid's like, all right.
Because they're like, oh, he has to have some sort of trick that we haven't done yet, and he's like, oh, I got to think about it, like because this one kid is, I guess, the guy who draws the whole thing, and they're like, okay. So he's going to save the city from a big meteor. That would be really cool. I think that's what's going to be in our next story.
So now we're in Metropolis, and Lana Lang is at some.
They're like
an affiliate dinner.
Yeah, kind of like
at the Metro Canada Hotel.
Yeah, and I guess they're just talking about like, I don't know, it's cool to be a reporter or something because apparently Lana works for the TV station. And Clark works for the TV station, but then Clark also ends up in the Daily Planet office later. So does he work for both?
He's one of those, maybe one of those news guys.
But he's an anchor.
Sometimes they have you do everything. Sometimes.
But why is it? But is he freelancing for the planet? I can't imagine he has enough time. I mean, he's Superman. He does. But a normal person would not have the time. So anyway, they're there, and Lana's just blah, 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 going on and on and on about this thing, and Clark's just like, oh man, Lana's talking a lot. And then she says something about if there was a news blackout, and like the fucking doorman picks this moment to be like, blackout is the word for Metropolis.
Why? Yeah, this is so weird.
This doorman just runs into the conference room and yells this from the back.
Also, if it's a blackout,
how is the light?
How are the lights still on in there? People be like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah, and they're blackout. Like, oh, it really is a blackout outside. It looks like it's night, even though it's like 1 PM.
I do want to actually bring up here Superman or Clark listening to Lana, and he's like, whoo, she's talking real loud. I kind of was hoping he could just put on those glasses with the eyeballs painted on.
Oh, yeah, it just kind of like
snooze.
Yeah, that's what he needs.
He's a little nap. But then so everybody gets all freaked out because Lana's like, but the solar eclipse isn't until 1982.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? And she starts giving Clark shit because Clark already ran away. And she's like, oh, he doesn't go along with the crowd when there's a panic. He leads it.
This is also like the weird thing because I'm like,
the other people are gone too.
Yeah, I know. But sometimes, maybe not at this time, but Lana knows he's Superman, but I guess now she doesn't.
Yeah, she doesn't. She's just another suitor for him.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course.
Like woman who's just like, oh, I can't wait.
I love you, Superman. Marry me.
So Superman flies into this meteor. I do want to point out there's a weird coloring error here because one of his fists is white.
Oh, yeah, there's another weird color error later where he looks like he has the worst sunburn.
Oh, okay.
When he's talking to those kids.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, well, I got to go and crash into this
meteor.
And, because it'll fuck up everything if it doesn't. I just need to do a gradual push. But
yeah, because he's flying right towards it. And he's like, all right, I'm just going to hit it. But then he's like, oh, I feel sick. Oh, no, that meteor must have kryptonite in it. And so he just like kind of turns a little and just like bounces off of it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny. And everybody on the street is just like, well, Superman's going to save us. I guess we'll just wait here until Superman saves us.
Yeah.
And so he gets knocked back down and he's like, okay, I have to do something else because obviously.
Well, he gets knocked down, but then as people are also somehow other people are able to notice that the spire of the Metro building is gone.
And they're like, wait, where'd it go? And Superman has apparently ripped this thing off the building and is throwing it at the meteor. And he's like, well, if I hit it at the right spot, like cracking a diamond, it'll split into 5 equal pieces and they will just fall into the ocean.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you sure? He's like, also, the kryptonite won't bother me because it's in the ocean. And I'm like, how do you know that?
You are not a scientist.
Superman is a scientist back in these books.
Oh, he was a scientist.
This is when he had super science powers and super ventriloquism and super whatever the fuck he had going on there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's silly.
So, and then there's this this old lady's like, I want to kiss him.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm going to kiss him for saving us. And Superman's like, haha.
Well, no, look, Lana's like, everybody loves Superman, but I love him the most.
Yeah, I love him in a different way. I'm like, uh-huh.
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 So he's flying home.
This is so funny.
And he's got this phosphorant
he's like
on him.
After when I bounced off the meteor, I got this like weird shiny rock dust on me. He's like, but this is so weird because I also woke up with it covering me. And he goes into his apartment where apparently Clark does not make his bed, which I feel like his mother would be very disappointed by. His sheets are just covered in shiny shit.
Also, too, seeing Superman fly into an apartment window, you might wonder if there's something up there. Not
even like the top floor, just like a random.
Yeah, he's like 3rd floor.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, well, I got a bunch of interplanetary dust on me. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I guess something.
Oh, because he's like, well, this is so weird because I had this dream last night.
Oh, that's right.
Where I went and there was a meteor and I shoved it towards the planet Earth. And he's like, I don't understand. Like, I thought it was just a dream. He's like, but now that this has happened, he's like, did I really try to destroy this planet? All I've done is my whole life is, take care of it. And he's like, why?
Yeah. I just enjoy him, those kind of walking around his apartment like, man, I didn't mean to try to kill the world. I guess I'll spin this globe. Yeah,
that's very funny. He's just like, I guess I'll just spin this because it makes me feel better.
So we're back in Kansas. Yeah, we're back in Kansas with the Reddit brothers.
I don't know. 2 of them are already there. And he's like, oh, I drew this thing like an hour ago. What we're going to have Superman do. And then the other one comes in. He's like, oh, my God, you guys, did you just hear that Superman like knocked a meteor out of the way, just like we talked about?
This kid's hairdo, by the way.
Oh, my God. I took a picture of that.
I don't
already.
know what is going on with this. Like he stuck his finger in an electrical socket.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he's like, oh, my God, like it was just on the thing minutes ago that he had to like throw the spire into this meteor, just like we talked about. And the kid's like, you mean like this? And he's like, oh, my God, how did you draw that so quickly? And the other one's like, I drew it like an hour ago. So how did this happen? And they're like, I don't know. That's weird. Like, it's like what we thought up Superman is now doing.
Yeah. And so they start kind of thinking, like, well, hey,
I mean, if we really have this, maybe it's a coincidence.
Yeah.
If we really have this
power,
right.
Can we control this man with our thoughts?
Well, let's think about it. I want, if we have this power, I want Superman to go to Loch Trevor, which Is that a thing? In Scotland, I want him to find the Loch Ness Monster.
Well, no, the Loch Trevor monster.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Loch Trevor monster.
For a second, I was like, Steve Trevor?
Yeah, I was like... Also, I'm like, is there a Loch Trevor? I don't know.
Well, it's not really, but we'll find out in a second. But it's just, I just think it'd be funny if he accidentally misinterpreted as Steve Trevor, and he just
brings Steve Trevor.
Steve Trevor, and Wonder Woman shows up. What the fuck, dude?
Dude, why are you stealing my boyfriend? What the hell, Clark?
You just showed up and just grabbed him, and I was like, we're having lunch, and you're just like, whipping him around.
What's going on with you, Clark? Seriously.
It's like, oh no, these kids are controlling me to grab you, to get Steve Trevor. It's like, no, they're not.
Yeah, right.
No, they're not, Clark. So these kids adjourn their meeting.
And Superman is like, oh, so apparently it's his birthday.
Oh, yes.
Which I find very funny.
Or Arrival on Earth Day.
Arrival on Earth Day, but they call it, Clark's birthday. They're in his office. So it's like Perry and Lois and there's other people there.
I think probably Steve Lombard.
Yeah, and so
Jimmy.
it's all dark, except Lois is holding this cake and they're crouched behind Clark's desk. And the candles are lit on this cake, and if you look, it looks like her hair is about to catch on fire.
This is very dangerous.
It is extremely dangerous. Like, her whole head's about to go
Also, being
up.
crouched with a cake that's on fire is not...
That's what I mean.
Try doing that in real life. With a full cake that everybody's going to share.
She's holding it the whole time, and it's right by her head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Lois, your hair
should be using hair product. It's 1979. There might be some Aquanet in her hair.
100%.
She goes up on Michael Jackson.
I'm surprised she hasn't gone up like a fucking Roman
she
candle.
Stands up and her hair just catches on fire. Clark's like, he gets.
It's going to be like, speaking of Metallica, in the Metallica...
Oh, she's going to James Hetfield herself?
She's going to James Hetfield herself and stand in the wrong spot when the pyro goes off. I just always remember that documentary. He's like, he could have been the hero of the day. What are you talking about? Fucking Axel. So Clark, the door opens, but Clark is all of a sudden being controlled by something. So he's gone. He like super speeds away, and they're like, how did that door open? I don't know.
You didn't see the door open and just a big whoosh come out of there. Like, yeah. Like just, it's like, oh, maybe it was the air conditioning. No, it's just really weird, guys.
Yeah. And they're like, that was bizarre. So Clark flies over to Scotland where we get, I don't know, Scottish pirates? Well, like, what is happening?
You forgot that Clark didn't even bother to change.
Oh, that's right. He
flies out of into the stratosphere wearing his suit, and he's changing out of his suit while in space.
And he literally looks like Danny DeVito coming out of that couch.
He does. The way that his suit looks, it looks like it's like a weird, like it's like a rubber thing.
Yeah, it's really gross. He looks kind of like he's being birthed.
Oh, man.
It's really disgusting, actually.
Hey. It's like, oh, it's my birthday. I better go up in space and birth myself.
Ugh, I'm super birthing powers, apparently.
So yeah, we got some Scottish guys here, like
who seem to be pirates, I guess, because there's trying to write almost like in a Scottish accent, but there's also like a little bit of pirate in it because like the R's are really.
Did you not hear?
There's so many R's.
Yeah, why is there so many R's here?
That's what
the Scottish people don't talk like that.
Well, apparently, this Scottish guy does. And like when you see them, they're like, they should have been in Jaws, the way they're drawn.
I like that there's these two guys, and one guy is a captain of this little rowboat.
Yeah, it's the captain of the rowboat. It's a fucking rowboat.
It's one of the two people. It's is it every couple meters you're just like, I'm the captain now.
But not only that, but like, why do you need a captain when you're in a rowboat? It's just two people.
The R's are excessive because later he's like, something flew into the water.
That's what I mean. I'm telling you, it's like it's a Scottish pirate apparently on this loch.
A tale about the monster.
I was like,
come on.
I was like, I don't think there's that much R, but I don't know.
So then the monster, they're like, oh yeah, well, I guess the monster's real because
it's jumping out of the water very gracefully, is something like that is what the guy says. And Superman's like, well, this isn't like an actual sea monster. This is an alien that was experimented on. And I was just going to leave it here because it just wanted to be, I don't know, peaceful.
Could just stay here? I mean,
yeah, he was going to, he's like, oh, I was always left it alone. But suddenly I have this urge to capture it for science.
Yet I am now compelled to capture it for science. We don't know where he takes this.
No, and we never find out.
There's a news report. There's a headline, but we don't know what he did with this monster. Like, did he just take it to
this poor monster?
Star Labs just go, hey, your problem now.
This poor monster was just just hanging out.
The monster's drawn. He's like, he's kind of like, the monster's kind of saying, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's kind of got this look on his face.
He absolutely does, because it's like, he was just like happily in this lock. It's an alien being who's been experimented on, just living his little life in this stupid lock. And Superman's just like, science.
He's like, you said I could stay here. It's like, nope.
Not anymore.
Nah, man.
I am being controlled by children, apparently.
Sea World.
Yeah.
It's going to be the plot to Jaws 3D.
Yeah, 100%.
So with a monster.
And then I forget exactly what happens after this.
The kids are at their meeting.
They're at their meeting.
And they're like,
oh my God, we have the ability to do this. Like, control Superman.
And so the one kid, I think it's Mike. Yeah,
there's a Mike, a Jerry, and Arthur? Yeah. I think, yeah.
Yeah, Arthur's the artist.
Arthur, yes.
They're like, hey, Mike, why don't you, like, give it a shot?
Yeah.
And he goes, okay. And he just puts his heads like he's...
It's like a Johnny Carson Karnak.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's like...
Where he's like putting things to his head and being like, all right.
Ew, yes.
Yeah, so he does that.
He's like... Attention, Superman, this is Michael Moore.
Oh, shit. I didn't know Michael Moore lived here.
That's right. Michael Moore.
I'm going to go on to become a documentarian.
Before he was a documentarian, he was a Superman summoner.
He was a child. Before he was this thing, he was a child.
And then he did a bunch of documentaries about 9/11 and cars.
Columbine too, yeah.
Columbine,
yeah.
But before then, he was just like, "Hey, I'm just gonna sit here and just think about Superman coming to my house."
Yeah. So he's like, "All right, Superman, I want you to come here to our little meeting in this town in Kansas." And Superman's like, "Oh, he's in the middle of like catching some bank robbers." Who have the way they're drawn when Superman picks them up, they have like 2 colored faces. I didn't know.
No, they have like rainbow heads.
Yeah, and I was like, is that
because they have like pantyhose over their heads?
I couldn't tell if that was.
You can see that over here because you kind of see.
Okay, so is that a coloring error? Because I was like, is this a coloring error?
No,
or are these just guys like
makes sense.
The rainbow gang or something?
But I don't know why they're rainbow colored unless it's just the way that it's reflecting.
Yeah, I thought
they're trying to do that.
Yeah, I thought maybe they were like the rainbow gang or something.
Rainbow gang,
and this is what they're.
It's Larry and Jack, the rainbow gang.
Yeah, something like that. Exactly. Give us your money. So Superman is
put pantyhose on your head
in the middle of picking these guys up, and one of them is like calls him Big Boy.
Big Boy in blue and red.
Yeah. So Superman's like, oh my God, I'm being controlled, but I have to like drop these people.
What's about to happen is that could have went
so wrong.
And I wish it did.
This is exactly what I was going to say. I wish this had gone wrong.
And I wish the kids would have got a headline. It's like Superman severs crooks above the 50,000 feet above the air.
Superman kills these men because he could have.
Superman turns criminals into mulch.
Yeah, which would have been awesome.
Because what he does is he's like, well, I'm flying too fast and so high that because I'm being summoned, they'll never survive.
Yeah. I
So what because I guess he's gonna go into space again.
Yep.
And so he's like, well, I better turn my directory toward this police helicopter.
Yes, because there's a police helicopter in the sky. And he's like, all right, I get one chance at this. And he like hangs the crooks on each side of like the little landing gear part of the helicopter.
Well, these cops are like, hey, it's Superman. All right. I'd be like, oh shit, oh fuck.
Yeah.
We're gonna die.
We're going to die.
This is it. Superman is flying. He's got men and he's trying to like and then he put them on our landing gear. Helicopters are not meant to do that. No, I don't think.
And now you've got like grown ass men just hanging off your helicopter.
Yeah, he just hangs them on there like fucking ornaments.
Yeah.
And Superman's like, all right, well, I guess I'm headed off to wherever these kids want me to go.
Because I don't know what's happening, but I have no choice but to go.
How can you guarantee that these guys aren't going to fall off?
You can't.
Like they go a few feet and all of a sudden one just fucking falls and lands in the middle of some promenade.
And that's the thing here, because like if that had happened, Superman would be like, well, I didn't kill those men. And I'm like, yeah, but you put them there, so they did die.
Bruce, I got a problem.
And Bruce would be like, you didn't kill him. Don't worry about it.
It's okay.
Yeah, Bruce is the same way. He's like, if they die on the table after I beat them to a pulp and the doctors try to save them, I didn't actually kill them.
Once you leave the criminals to the police, whatever happens is out of your hands.
Exactly. Whatever happens, man. It's not on you.
If you put them on, even if you put them on the blades, it wouldn't matter.
Nope.
Because you are cleared free.
Yep. You don't worry about it. Not your problem. And that is the Bruce way.
Oh man, that should be the issue of a Batman like trade, like Batman the Bruce Wayne.
The Bruce way. That'd be fun.
So these kids get the visit from Superman, and
the way Superman comes into this fucking thing is so funny because
it's a regular ass door, by the way.
For some reason, this door is so small that Superman has to like bend over and like it's a tiny door.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, he can't fit in the door, so he like crawls in and he's like, "Hello, boys."
Crawls in, and
they're like, so they explain to Superman what's going on.
They explain it to Superman, but their way they go is like, well, it was kind of a game we were playing, and Superman should just be like, you know what? I'm gonna throw you into the nearest orphanage.
But the thing is as Superman is listening to their story, they're like, I don't know, Superman, we don't know how we got the ability to control you, but somehow we do. And Superman's like, well, I think I can explain this. And in Superman's seat, he uses his, which we didn't know he had until right now, infrared vision.
Oh, no, we do. I do know he has it.
You knew? I did not know.
No, because there's that issue of the one Christmas comic we did where Superman sits in a car with a guy.
And he just uses his infrared vision?
And this guy's like, hey, my engine's cold. And he's like, oh, I'll heat you up. And he just uses the infrared vision to heat him up.
Is that how infrared works?
Well, in this case, it does.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Because I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. But that's all right. So, yeah, I did not know this and I totally forgot about that. So he uses his infrared vision to allow these children to see an imp. I'm going to call it an imp.
It's an alien, but it's a fucking imp.
But it's from another dimension. So is it from like
I don't know.
A Batmite dimension?
It's from the fucking
Mitzvahpiclic dimension.
It's from the Smurf rejects.
Yeah, and so it's like
because it's like it's this imp, which and I didn't know this was. I thought this was a girl.
I did too, but apparently it's a boy.
But it's a boy.
I mean, honestly, you can't really tell. It is just green.
It's a very androgynous haircut.
Yes, it's an androgynous imp.
Androgynous imp. It's blue skinned.
Mm-hmm.
And they're wearing a purple and yellow cloak.
I think it's that picture there. One of the ones.
Yes.
Do you see Superman's face is just bright red, like he got the worst sunburn?
Oh, you must have been watching Metallica.
Yeah, he was sitting where we were. We're in the sun.
Oh man, we couldn't see him because he was using infrared vision to hide himself. Or
man,
whatever.
He could have like pulled a fucking something in front of us so we weren't sitting in the sun for 4 hours.
Right.
That would have been nice.
I suggested to Jen because like the sun was just about to go down, but it was still up and it was still bothering us.
Yeah.
And I was like, it would be great if Superman was around so he could just go around the world and just speed it up just a little bit just so the sun could turn.
Just so we could keep going.
Just so we can keep going. I just need the sun to go down just a little bit so I'll be comfortable. Thanks, Superman.
I know. And it must have been so bad. Like, we must have been like so in the sun, like terribly, that Fred Durst kept calling it out. He was like, hey, up there in the vitamin D section, you guys are doing great.
Did you say that? I heard him say sunshine seats.
He called us that. He called it like 4 or 5 times.
He's probably like, man, that sucks for those people. Anyways,
felt bad.
Anyways, you got to have faith.
Anyways, yeah. Hey, I'm going to sing the chorus of Pantera's Walk. Everybody cool with that?
Which I want to say real quick. Actually, this is something I forgot to point out. The way that Limp Bizkit does their shows, apparently. Yes. I don't know if this was always a thing, but this kind of feels like a thing because they're older.
Like us, yeah.
And they're just like, all right, we're going to play some songs. And then in between songs, we'll just have DJ Lethal play like other songs you might like The Outfield and fucking Bed Pantera.
Yeah.
And we'll sing along to those for a while. And Journey.
We're going to play some Journey. But we played some George or whatever that, I think it's George Michael. Guilty Feet song. What is that?
Guilty Feet.
Yeah, the Guilty Feet. I'll Never Gonna Dance Again.
Oh, why can't I think of the title?
I can't remember the title, but they played that. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just like randomly in between, just like, here's some song.
Here's some songs. Like, all right, we're gonna take a little break. I feel like that's what these Metallica's doing that too, because there was literally a moment.
Dude, I think it was like 3 songs in. James is like, all right, Lars and I have to go adjust our girdles. So we're gonna go, and they just like walked off stage, and then it was Kurt and what's his name? Robert Trujillo just doing like a jam session, and you shocked the hell out of me when you told me Robert Trujillo has been in the band longer than Jason Newsted.
He might have been. I think
because I'm still like,
because Jason was there till like 2003.
Yeah, and again, I'm sure Robert is a great person or whatever, but I'm just like,
it doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right. It never has.
It doesn't feel right, even though he's probably made just as many albums, if 100%. Not more albums with Metallica.
Probably played just as many fucking tour dates.
Rob Trujillo,
great guy.
suicidal tendencies, obviously a very good bassist.
Amazing bassist,
He sings and everything, does everything they need him to do.
No, awesome dude.
But it doesn't feel right because it's not Jason Newsted. And I'm like, God damn it.
I feel so fucking weird.
I feel bad, but at the same time, I'm like, but where's Jason? I need Jason.
That's so stupid.
Hey, somebody call Jason. Can we get Jason on one of these screens here and be like, hi.
Hi, it's me. Anyway, so Imp.
Okay, yeah, so the stupid fucking Imp.
And they're just like, well, he's here. I don't exactly know why, like his dimension lined up with Earth or something.
So,
and he doesn't have his friends his own age.
Okay, so his name is Rigel.
And what he was trying to do was get my attention. Get Superman's attention so I would come here. So he was controlling me.
But he couldn't send a command directly to him, so he had to amplify it through
them.
You guys.
Yeah.
Saying things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this time he managed to eliminate whatever delay there was.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, well, the reason that he wanted to call me here is because I have X-ray vision, and I can tell Mike that we did not know that you were in a wheelchair literally until this panel. And you apparently were in a car accident and there's a sliver of glass embedded in your spine, which is why you're in this wheelchair. He wanted me to come because with my, what does he call it? His super something, some sort of, it's not super speed. It's like something he's going to tell the surgeon.
He says, normally in an inoperable condition, but with my microscopic vision guiding the hands of a skilled surgeon.
That's what it is.
The sliver can be removed.
And he's like, and I can walk again? And Superman's like, yup.
This little imp is like projecting 100% success.
Success rate. All right, we'll just believe that little imp. But I'm also like, wait, what just happened to this book? Like, we were just going along. There's an imp. And all of a sudden we got this kid who's in a fucking wheelchair and we're going to, quote, fix him. And I'm like, oh, God.
This is like happens at the very end.
You know what this is? This is trying to get out of a sketch and you don't know how to.
Uh-huh.
This is exactly what this feels like. Because this is like when you're stuck, you're doing improv, you don't know how to get out of it. And then somebody's just like, says something stupid so you can end the sketch. That's what this is. Because I'm just like, where the fuck did this come from?
So he saves one of these Reddit brothers.
Apparently, I mean, we never get to see that. But apparently, Rigel is now the latest member of the Superman Club, but they can't see him.
What if, even though this imp is, even though a space imp is like, yeah, you'll be saved by Superman. What if something doesn't go right? And this kid dies on the fucking table.
We don't know that doctor's not an alcoholic.
And then Superman's never talking to these kids again. So now these kids have 2 empty seats.
Again, once Superman isn't there, it's no longer his concern.
Yeah, right.
This is just the way.
Hey, Bruce or Clark. It's Bruce. Yeah, don't worry about those kids. The kid
he died on the table. It's all right.
It got worse from actually. He's a quadriplegic now.
Yeah,
and
the doctor you specifically picked to do the surgery, total alcoholic. But don't worry about it, man. Not your fault.
He recommends Dr. Chalice to do the surgery.
Jesus. I'm just, it really is like as soon as they walk away, it's no longer their fucking concern. It is so funny.
Does this? I didn't bother to check and see if this little imp boy hangs around.
I don't know.
He doesn't.
I can't imagine. But they're like, oh, he's the newest member. I'm like, yeah, but you can't even see him. So what? Your new friend that you're gonna like?
So here's the thing. So when is this surgery gonna happen?
Also,
is Superman like? Does this kid have insurance?
Well, not only that, but like
this is 1983 or 1979.
Yeah.
This shit's expensive.
Well, it's not only that, but like Superman is aware that this kid imp person exists. Yeah. So does this mean that like at any time he can just randomly take over Superman? And Superman has no problem with that?
I don't know.
It's strange.
Maybe not now, but I don't know if between now up until Crisis, if there's always a problem. Occasionally Superman's like, oh, I guess I gotta go and stare at some kid that has a hangnail. See if they'll be okay.
It's so random. It's just a very bizarre. It's a strange way for this to end, and I'm just like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is how the Superman movie is gonna.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure this is exactly.
I kind of know how the Superman movie is gonna be. There's gonna be real gross out fucking moments in there because I went to the store the other day. And I've kind of concluded that I went to Walmart and they had the kaiju action figure playset on the package to have like, here's how you do this, whatever. And the kaiju apparently, it has a thing where you hit the spot of its chin and it opens its mouth, but also its stomach explodes. Yeah. And you're supposed to put the fucking goo, the aforementioned goo that we talked about last time.
And I did find out, because I saw just like a quick clip of the trailer, that kaiju is walking down the street. So I don't know if Superman like opens his fucking stomach.
Oh, it's just a river of slime.
And that
it's a river of slime.
It's a river of slime. And that guy just dies. Like, I don't know. Oh man.
Superman, can you throw him into the sun? Sure. Just throw it. I can't really contain all this goo.
In fairness, is it really a Superman movie if he doesn't throw something into the sun?
If I'm James Gunn, I'm throwing everything into the fucking sun.
I mean, everything has to be thrown into the sun.
I mean, he threw all the nuclear weapons into the sun, remember?
Oh, I sure do.
Give me all those weapons. All right.
But I feel like, are you really doing a Superman movie if he's not tossing something into the sun? I also wonder if this Superman movie is going to be about property. Because that's always what they're about. Like, Lex is always trying to get land or whatever.
Yeah, Lex is definitely, he's gonna, the problem what's gonna happen is like he has this monster that he knows that Superman's going to defeat by spilling its goo everywhere. Ugh. And then the property value is going to go down. He's going to swoop in. He's going to buy all that property.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Superman.
Superman tanking property values.
By the way, the story's over.
Oh, yeah.
Next issue, many years ago, Superman's home exploded. We know that. Now the same fate strikes the planet. Another superhero, Vartox, joining Superman on Earth. Vartox searches for the disaster's causes and leads to the identity of the catastrophic man. And then we do have a letters page too.
Yeah,
which doesn't have.
I did not read any of the letters.
No, I don't really care about the letters. It's
okay.
Something. Zod. But that is July. Oh, sorry. Superman in Action Comics, or just Action Comics, if you will. Number 497 from July 1979. And next week we'll cover a Superman book where he's in a glass case of emotion. That's
he sure is.
Cover. I'm not gonna read it until then.
Nope. But he will be in a glass case of emotion, which is very exciting.
I think that's gonna do for this week's episode. Thanks for listening, everybody. Find us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Angry Hero Shawn. She's at Jen Stansfield. You can find us on all those platforms, Threads, Blue Sky, all that good stuff. Email the show, worstcollectionever@gmail.com. Please check us out on YouTube. I did change the channel name, so it's no longer Angry Hero 79. It's just the Worst Collection Ever.
Nice.
So you can just find it that way, because honestly, most of the content on my channel was stuff for this podcast. So whatever. If that bothers you, I don't see why it would, but whatever. It's just how it is. So we're just going to do that. And I'm also been fooling around with that app to make some nice images for the covers of the podcast. So maybe things look a little bit more splashy and people will be like, oh, hey, that looks interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll check us out. So we'll have fun with that. And of course, rate and review the podcast anywhere you get it. We would really appreciate your feedback and everything. So once again, folks, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you again next time.
Bye.